Hi, welcome to Gemstone Tarot in a bedroom that resembles Mordor out of, is it Lord of the Rings? You know, and they keep looking over to that mountain far away and it's always got like darkness around it and like a dark cloud and lightning and stuff like that. This is what this looks like today, the street. I'm looking out in the street. I can just see like dark roofs and rain everywhere and just that. I've got one window for some reason. There'll be something boring to do with wind direction. I've got one window where the rain just stays on it the whole time. It's like it's always got loads of raindrop things. And then another window where it never stays at all. So it's like there's almost different weather at every window that I look at. I know, we can get such a lot just out of sitting in one little spot. Anywho, it's Monday the 10th of November this reading is for. Monday the 10th this reading is for. And the moon is... oof, I wondered about that. Moon, because I haven't had the moon diary for ages, have I? It's been, well, I don't know, it's shoved downstairs under the sofa actually. And it's finally made it back up and I'm like, now I know. We've been moon in Cancer and it moves into Leo about 5:30 in the evening. So it does. Yes, so, and I've also got, what I've decided to do, we've got Rosen's Almanac. I'm just going to do a little bit from this. Us being us, you know, where we're going, we don't need dates. I've sort of missed out the whole of October, which is fine. So I'm going to do a little bit on the word October, I think. Anyone familiar with octagons and octopuses will have noticed October is not the 8th month of our year. Do you know what? I am familiar with that, but have never thought about this either. I know. But it is the 10th. God, that makes it sound a lot more end of the year-y as a month than it feels, doesn't it? As with September, November and December, the counting is awry on account of the calendar being changed. This mismatch does not seem to have bothered anyone enough early enough in the history of the naming of the months for there to have been a groundswell of opinion demanding a rewrite. That's a really badly constructed sentence, Mr. Rosen. The Romans thought of October as the point at which they could finish up their usual military campaigning and invading and take a rest. Much later, October became an iconic month for some, as it marked the October Revolution of 1917 in Russia. Again, as part of the mysteries of calendar adjustments, there is a mismatch involved, as the October Revolution actually took place in November. This is why we don't need dates, people. Unreliable things. Using the venerable Bede, B-E-D-E, as our guide, we could drop calling this month the numerically skewed October and go back to the early speakers of Old English in Britain. They called the month when the winter season began. Jesus, okay, hang on. Pinterfyllip. Pintirfyllip. That sounds like you know, you sort of don't, when you want to say something clever and people go, what is that? And you go, that's what it is. Or if you just think someone's a knob, you're just like, twat. Anyway, I would never do that. So, they called the month when the winter season began Pinterfyllip, writes Bede, a word composed of winter and full moon. Is it? Because winter began on the first full moon of that month. I think at this point, if I was writing that little excerpt, I would say winter, then I would give the sort of Old English for winter and the Old English for full moon. Because then you might see, I assume that Pintir is winter and Philip must be full moon. But, you know, that's an assumption on my part that I don't really want to have to make. Anyhow, I'm going to put my bookmark in. Let me know your thoughts, and we will have a few cards from a new tarot deck, which I've just done a little pick a card reading for the Gemstars, actually, what you need to know right now. And it's Tarot Nouveau, which is a very mulchy, sort of soggy, in a good... I'm not selling it, am I? So, a very mulchy, soggy looking tarot that we're using today, but in a good way. That's, yeah, I can only say what I can only say in the way that I can say it, and clearly that's a little bit jumbled today. Of course, Mercury is retrograde. We can have all kinds of spoonerisms and whatnot. That's just going to be the way it is. What do we need to know? Oh, someone's trying to park. That's always fun. That's always fun. Students come here and can't park for toffee, and then by the time they leave they're just like amazing experts, which they don't need because all the houses that they come from have enormous long drives because they've got loads of money. But hey, oh gosh, turn on the top lip time here, folks. Cripes. I'm going to check. No, there's plenty in the upright. We're getting so many reversals in so many of our readings at the moment, aren't we? It's that one and that one. That was easy. Oh, God. Okay. 'Tis the message. We start with the Queen of Swords, which I think we're going to need this. Good boundaries, sensibilities, and I'm going to say slightly, and this came up for a few people in the monthlies as well, no F's given, or no quarter given actually is probably a bit more accurate. Normally, you know, especially if we are more of the empathic variety, we do give a quarter, don't we? We do give benefit of the doubt. Drawing in your mental purse strings here, people, I would say no to that, and I think your standards need to be fairly high, and you're wielding the sword of truth, and your standard for truth has to also be high too, both from yourself and from others. We get the Two of Cups in the reverse, which is annoying, obviously, because the Two of Cups is very nice in the upright, but the reading is kind of saying no romanticism, no fantasy, no... I mean, it's bloody Scorpio season, for God's sake, isn't it? And I know all you Scorpios out there can probably handle it, but the rest of us can't. We're just like, so much dark truth. So much dark truth. Must I keep dipping the bucket to the bottom of the well? Yeah, probably. It just happens in Scorpio season. Time for a good old delve. I know. So it could be a time of realising things are not what you thought they were. It could be friendships, could be lovers, could be anything. But it's not final, it's Mercury retrograde. So it's like, imagine if the well bucket was kind of on some elastic. You're like doyoyoyoing, boyoyoyoing, doyoyoyoing, boyoyoyoing, down and up, you see? Is that Newton? What goes up must come down. And reverse. We also have the Sun in reverse. There are things we're not going to know, and not much point pushing to try and find them out during Mercury retrograde. More a case of observing, dipping the bucket down the bottom of the well, having a little look and thinking, probably keeping it to yourself, and then thinking, okay, you know, next. We have the Eight of Pentacles, Sun in Virgo, ever sensible, Eight of Pentacles, just telling us to keep on, keep on working, keep on trucking, keep on keeping on. No diversions here, okay? Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. It's not, it doesn't mean bad luck, it just means the absence of easy luck. You know, like the wind's not really blowing in your direction. So if if you keep on going, you're going to feel a little bit pinned, you know, like you do when you're in the wind. But that's okay. Pinned in the wind. I knew strength was going to come up, but I didn't think it'd be in the reverse, but it is. Strength in the reverse. Feeling a bit tired. I've noticed this recently, definitely. Just, it's kind of hibernation season in the Northern Hemisphere. And I think a change of any season. I had some lovely Aussies, hello lovely Aussies, g'day, saying that their change of season also makes them feel X, Y and Z. And I know that when I go from spring to summer or summer to autumn, even spring to summer, I feel like I'm getting a cold or something is different. So there's adjustments no matter what wheel of the season you're on, okay? And you may feel just a bit out of sorts. Queen of Wands in reverse, two things for this card. One, you may not be able to employ your normal, you know, what my friend used to call her tin. Just gonna open the tin. You haven't really got the energy to open the tin at the moment, so don't start something you can't finish. You know, I wouldn't. It's not a time for confrontations or truth-telling or any of those things. It's more a time of hanging back, working hard, keeping one foot in front of the other, and this too shall pass. Leave me a comment. Do come and join the Gemstars if you want to see the pick a card reading. Hello. They're coming. And I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.